Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. I'm Kate Parker. I'm from Atlanta. I am a commercial photographer, and I shoot for clients like REI or Walgreens, Kroger, stuff like that. But I also really love to shoot personal projects that move me, projects that inspire me. I'm a mom. I have two girls who are 8 and 11. And like any parent, I shoot my kids all the time. I'm just a parent with like 3 camera bodies and a giant bag of lenses. And I noticed that the images that were the strongest of my girls were the ones where they were being themselves. And for my girls, that meant dirty a lot of times, running around. They were fierce. They were confident. They weren't necessarily smiling for the camera, like Alice. This is my 8-year-old. And I wanted to show that. I wanted to let them know that that was okay. And so Alice is Alice. She's a little temper. She takes after her mommy in that way. And I was trying to capture what was going on in our lives. I was trying to capture the good, like when the sun shines and you get to dance with your dog. And I was also trying to capture the bad. You know, when you're trying to learn to roller skate and you're like 7 years old, it looks so easy, but you spend 90% of your time like on your butt. I shoot pictures like this all the time. This is my girls and their friends swimming. And I still do. I think it's really good practice for me as a photographer to try to remain creative within a box. And that box being my girls, their friends, where we live. And shooting all the time inspired me to create a photography project and movement called Strong as the New Pretty. It all started because I was asked to be part of a gallery show here in Atlanta. And I had to cull from thousands and thousands and years of images to find the 20 strongest images that told a story. And I found that those images were the ones where the girls were being themselves. And they were confident, they were fearless, they were strong, and they were powerful. And so I started to make that my goal. I wanted to shoot that way. I wanted to show that side of the girls. So, like I said, I shoot all the time when we travel and we see new places. When we get lucky enough that they are cleaning the fire hydrants on a summer day here in Atlanta. I shot fierce images. I call this Daughters of Anarchy, you know, like the TV show. I shot feisty images. The good, the bad, the ugly, even lice. It's awful if you've ever been through that. I shot, you know, everyday life. That sound it makes when you're talking to a fan, you sound like a robot. The agony of defeat. We probably spent $400 at this one claw game in Taco Mac. We have nothing to stand for it. I shot hopeful images. Images that showed rule breaking. We're not really supposed to flip on the beds in our house, but it's fluid if I think the light is pretty enough. Yeah. Going a little bit overboard with calamine lotion. Everybody here knows, you know, that mosquitoes can be pretty tough. My goal with these images was to capture the true spirit of the girls that were my girls and the girls that I knew. I wasn't trying to change it or alter it in too many ways. I wanted to capture the strength and the confidence and the power that I saw in my girls and all of their friends. And I wasn't really seeing it in what was reflected back to us. I wasn't seeing this kind of representation of girls enough. And this is the determination and the confidence that comes with an undefeated soccer season. I coached these girls and I saw the power that they had. And when my girls and I would watch TV or read magazines or go to the movies, the women and the girls that we saw reflected back to us, they didn't look like us, they didn't act like us. Their hair was perfect and you know, their makeup was done and they were smiling and happy all the time. It wasn't reality. I mean, at least it wasn't our reality. We saw stuff like this, and if you look at these two magazines, you probably get angry like I did. Like if you look at the Girls' Life magazine, how to wake up pretty, how to fix your dream hair, versus Boys' Life, explore your future, boys. And here, when we went shopping, the girls, babies, I hate my thighs, versus I'm super for boys. And I only date heroes versus I am a superhero. And this last one, building sets versus girls building sets. I don't think toys should have a gender. And all of this made me angry, and it made me angry enough to do something about it. I didn't want my girls growing up thinking that their worth was determined by what their hair looked like in the morning, the size of their thighs, or what shade of pink that their toys came in. So I started to really intently shoot more and more, trying to capture that spirit and that power that I saw in my girls. And yes, sometimes it meant pretending soccer balls were their pregnant bellies. But that's what it is. And so, you know that gallery show that I talked about before here in Atlanta? It was a huge bust. I didn't sell a single image. And I got angry. And then I got like disappointed, and I was like, oh, woe is me, my work isn't any good. And then I kind of got angry, because angry again, it's kind of like this up and down for me. But I got mad, and I thought, you know what, there's something in these images, there's something worthwhile. And so I packaged up the images and sent them to a few blogs that I followed, just because I thought there was a message there. And from that, the images went viral. They were seen and shared millions of times. They were on BuzzFeed and CNN, the Today Show. I was so thankful and so happy that I was not the only one that thought girls needed to hear this message. And from that little bit of viral stuff that was honestly very stressful, I had an opportunity to create a book. And for me, it wasn't my intention, but it made perfect sense that there was something that could be concrete and long-lasting, and that you could have on your table. You could give it to girls that you thought needed to hear this message. And I looked at that book as this amazing opportunity to expand the kind of strength that I was shooting, which at its current state, the project was really just suburban Atlanta girls. And that represents only one sliver of the kind of strength and power that girls have. So I really looked at it this chance to expand that. And I spent the last 2 years traveling all over the country, shooting all kinds of girls. Went East Coast, West Coast, Hawaii, Midwest, Texas, everywhere. And I shot girls who inspire, girls who persevere. And my goal was to capture and pass along the values that my parents who are here taught me. That your value does not reside in what you look like. It doesn't matter what your hair looks like. It's in who you are, what you do, and how you act. And that was what I was trying to pass along to my girls. And so Strong as the New Pretty was born. And yeah, strong has always been pretty. This is not new. But what is new are the pressures that our girls face today with the internet and photoshopped everything and filtered. There's this pressure and this expectation to be perfect and everything to look perfect. And I think as adults we can understand that that's not true. But I looked at this book and looked at this movement as an opportunity to present some truth to girls, to present a reality that girls look this way, they act this way, girls do these things, rather than what 99% was given to them already. One thing is, as I was going through and I was shooting all kinds of girls, and I was shooting really successful girls that were excelling, they were at the top of whatever their passions were. Like I shot pilot, I shot musicians, I shot athletes. And I noticed a thread in all of them. All of the girls that were succeeding, all of the girls that were doing well, and all of the girls that had kind of gotten to the top of where they weren't the most talented necessarily. The thing about those girls was that they had grit. They didn't give up. They didn't take no for an answer. They kept doing something after people told them that they shouldn't do it or that it wasn't okay. I also wanted girls with this book and this project to know you can't dream something necessarily if you never see it. Like Maddie said, I never met a female firefighter before. Now I know it's possible. I also wanted girls to see possibilities. I wanted them to know that they could start a band if they wanted to. They could wrestle the boys and win most of their matches. They could think they're awesome, say they're awesome in a book, and that's amazing. That you don't have to be clean or even close to be clean to be beautiful. That you can pursue your dreams no matter what challenges life puts in your way. The notion that girls are not good at math and science, giant lie. That girls do not support one another and they're catty is not true. That the sky could literally be the limit. And the idea that valedictorians are just smart in books and academics is just the tip of the iceberg. I wanted girls to know that it's okay to be loud and in your face, and that's okay. And it's not just okay, it's encouraged. There is a strength and a power in knowing your emotions and being able to express them. And that strength can present itself in so many different ways. This is Lauren. I shot Lauren, and she came into my studio, and she literally was trailing glitter and had a princess dress, like with taffeta and high heels. And Lauren, her quote says, "Even a princess can be a warrior. My cancer didn't stand a chance." Strong is not always, tomboys and making a muscle and dirt. Strong is Lauren overcoming her cancer through chemotherapy and surgeries to, sashay into my studio with a completely positive attitude. I think this is my favorite picture and quote in the book, and this is Leslie. Leslie said, "Many girls grew up dreaming of a hero to save them. I grew up dreaming of becoming one." And I just think that's so telling at 18, despite 18 years of fairy tales and princess stories of girls being inundated with this message, someone will save them. Leslie rejected that, and more so, she was strong enough to know others needed her help. Leslie for sure is my hero. Strong is the New Pretty is about giving power to girls and finding out what's important to girls, supporting them in that, and helping girls figure out what is unique about them and celebrating that, even when others question it. And finding out who you are and pursuing that 100% really is the goal and the message here. So that is Strong is the New Pretty. Thank you very much. Thank you.